Hello everybody, and welcome to Ancient Architects. Please subscribe now to get the latest ancient history news and independent research from around the world. Archaeologists working in Kom Al-Khalejan of the Nile River Delta have discovered a vast Egyptian cemetery spanning thousands of years of ancient Egyptian history. Situated in the province of Dakahlia, around 93 miles from the capital, the site contains a number of tombs that date back to Egypt's Pre-Dynastic Period, between 6000 and 3150 BC. There are 68 pre-dynastic oval-shaped tombs, as well as 37 that are semi-rectangular, and these date to Egypt's Second Intermediate Period, which is also known as the Hyksos period, dating to between 1782 and 1570 BC, just before the famous golden era that we all know as the 18th dynasty. These semi-rectangular pits are between 20 and 85 centimetres in depth. The 5 remaining tombs date to the Naqada III period, a time when Egypt was transitioning into the dynastic era between 3200 and 3000 BC. The earliest remains come from the Buto I and Buto II periods of northern Egypt's pre-dynastic era, which is before Egypt became unified under one ruler and built the magnificent structures that Egypt is famous for. These oval burials contain the remains of people lying on their left side and facing west, with grave goods placed around them. The remains of a baby were also found, placed inside a pottery vase, and a small spherical pot was placed with it. We then get the 5 tombs from the Naqada III period, which are also oval in shape. 2 of the tombs have their sides, bottom and roof covered with a layer of clay. Inside the pits are a variety of grave goods, including decorated coal plates and cylindrical and triangular pots. Then we have a huge jump in time to the Hyksos Second Intermediate Period, and why these people chose to reuse a pre-dynastic cemetery I don't know. Maybe the Hyksos thought their ancestors were the Buto culture of northern Egypt, but I'm just speculating. 31 of the 37 Hyksos burials look like semi-rectangular pits. Human remains are in an extended position with their heads looking west. A pottery coffin was also found for a child, as well as 2 rectangular brick tombs also made for children. Funerary goods include pottery vases, silver rings and amulets. A baby was also found buried inside a large vessel, accompanied by a small black vase. Aside from the burials, there were also a collection of ovens, brick buildings, crockery, amulets made from semi-precious stones, ornaments and jewellery. It may not have been reported as a lost golden cemetery that rewrites history, and no one's saying it will answer some of Egypt's greatest mysteries, but I find this discovery more exciting than the famous Lost Golden City, which I reported on a couple of weeks ago. And that's because we can see a snapshot of the people who lived in northern or lower Egypt in the pre-dynastic era, with their typical pre-dynastic burials and goods, before these people assimilated with or were conquered by the powerful Naqada culture of the south. But then we also see a snapshot of this transition period, with the inclusion of 5 Naqada III burials. Why this site was reused around 1,500 years later, nobody knows. But the Second Intermediate Period of Egypt is also one of interest. A time of real change, transition, upheaval and instability for dynastic Egypt. It's not a discovery that will rewrite the history books, but it's one that could certainly help us to understand life in Egypt before the onset of dynastic history. Before I end this video, I just want to show you a few more images of the larger of the 2 unfinished colossi which I discussed in my previous video. Quarried blocks of stone that weigh between 2,000 and 3,000 tons and located at Zayet al-Sultan. Blocks far larger than the famous monoliths of Baalbek. Here we can see the large block in situ in the South Quarry, and I want to add that this whole region was a Ptolemaic quarry. This isn't an isolated block of stone being quarried on a mountainside. It's part of a vast quarry, and the huge amounts of writing, graffiti and marks right across the quarries are all Ptolemaic in origin, as are the examples of pottery, amulets, statuettes and so on. Here we can see the huge block again, rough and unfinished and just waiting to be extracted. This block was also laser scanned, and here is the image that was published in 2012, showing us more details of the region. I'm continuing my search to find out more information on these giant blocks of stone, but it seems there is so little published and so little information we can draw upon right now. But as soon as I know more, I'll publish it here on Ancient Architects. Thank you very much for watching this news story from Ancient Architects. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel, please like the video, and please leave a comment below. Thank you very much.